Alright. I'm sure if you saw the thumbnail from the last video, you noticed that I started decorating the area where my rainbow generator stuff is supposed to be. I know, I said I was going to work on it later, and I did, but later was literally the next day. So, here's what I've got for a basic look and feel so far. I'm not entirely happy with the abandoned mangrove post there, but it's a start. And I needed to go start digging some areas out because we're going to continue working on this today. Hello everybody, I'm Mard, and welcome to another episode of All the Mods 8, where we are once again recording in the rain, because that's all it ever seems to do anymore. Now, I'm back at spawn because, well, to continue on with what I wanted to do today, I need something to get started with, and that something is another zombie spawner from the dungeon under spawn, because, well, today we are going to continue on with the two generators that both require a mob farm. Or at least that's how we're going to handle these two for now. And the two that I'm referring to are the Disenchantment Mycelial generator and the Metallurgical Mycelial generator. The Metallurgical Mycelial generator, however, is out of our reach right now. We can't actually make this one because it requires a supreme machine frame, which we're not going to do today. But I am going to go get all of the infrastructure set up for it because that consumes liquid meat, which just requires a mob slaughter factory, which, well, we made that forever ago to go grind up to make our initial pink slime balls. So let's go look into what we need to do to set this up. To start with, I have a very basic laser IO system set up down here. The lasers continue on down there and go back up to the top here over to where my generators are. The whole purpose of them, however, right now is to send a redstone signal from this lever here over to here and down into these to turn these off because these zombie spawners are now extremely upgraded. As a reminder, the apotheosis spawners can be upgraded by combining them with different items. And really the most important one is this one right here, the chorus fruit, which turns off their AI entirely so they don't move around or do anything and don't really cause lag. But there's other important ones too, like the ones that reduce spawn delay or increase the number of mobs that can spawn, as well as the one that adds a redstone control, which is what lets me use the lever to turn it on and off. Now the mob crusher is Industrial Foregoing's main mob farming item. It destroys any mobs that are directly in front of it, converting them into delicious essence and item drops. To make this is all pretty simple. The hardest thing in here is the advanced machine frame, which we now have automated, so making this was pretty trivial. Alright, so assuming I've got all of this set up properly and I now have a bunch of filters in here for items and fluids, I should just have to put the machines in. And now we're going to put some glass here because light does not affect these. We want to turn these on to run with a redstone signal because these are wired up to the lever. And if I turn this on, everything should just start working. Well, that's unfortunate. And I think what we need to do here is remove the ignores the light attribute from these because we want to keep them confined in the kill box and we'll have to remove the glass. Holding quartz in your offhand and using the item to add the attribute is supposed to be able to remove it. Yep, there we go. And now those are reset. Alright, and I made some normal vanilla Minecraft tinted glass. Well, I made the connected glass version of it so there's no line there. And if I close this all up, we should be able to see that there is no light in there now. Correct? Not that I can jump up and see. So the easiest test is just turn it on and see what happens. Which looks like... Yep, there we go. Looks like things are spawning inside. Alright, so the job's working. It looks like things might be spawning inside, although at a slower rate than they should be, but maybe that's just how small the box is. So we're getting meat out of here, which goes in a tank over in my main area, and the chest is now collecting some loot. We need to wait to see if item drops come out of here because I don't know for sure if enchanted equipment will drop from the mob crusher. Well, that was pretty quick. We already got a diamond sword out of it with Nature's Mend, so we can disenchant this now into a book. But you know, that's going to require setting up a proper area to disenchant stuff and filter through everything in the box, and I've got to go do some homework now because I'm not entirely certain how to do that. Alright, so I sort of found a way, but it's kind of clunky and I'm not entirely happy with it, but we're going to work with this for now. So I started by making the enchantment extractor, which we need anyways, which is just another advanced machine frame tier level machine, which takes an enchanted item and books and strips the enchantments off onto the books. Inside this laser IO node, I have multiple item cards filtering for this. And if we look at the filter, it's because I'm filtering for each of the different types of items we can get as drops off the mobs. I may have to add more, I don't know. The important part here is we have ignore NBT set on this. The good news is that because we have the filter set specifically for enchanted items, it doesn't pull any unenchanted ones into this, although I don't think it even can. I think it can only take enchanted items to begin with. So we still need to set up a bunch of filters on a trash can to get rid of those, and we also need them coming out of this. The other thing we're going to need to do is make a repository for the enchanted book, and when it fills up, we want this to shut down, honestly. We don't want this to keep running, because any sort of store we use for the books is going to eventually fill up. And really, we only need a finite number of them to keep the generator running. But before we do anything else, we need to make another simulation chamber and loot fabricator for cows, because we need leather for books to autofill that thing with. And I'm probably going to go use the pulverizer that I created back here to create sawdust instead of relying on sugarcane to make paper, because we have a lot more wood than sugarcane currently. Alright, so I'm still training the filters from the drops I'm getting from the mob crusher, but so far it seems to be going okay. Because down here, going into a trash can, I have multiple cards again with all of the outputted non-enchanted items that I've gotten so far. And it just dumps them in there. Over here, we have it pulling in all of the enchanted books. When this fills up, the enchantment extractor will just stop running because it won't be able to output them. So that's as good a solution as any. It won't shut down the mob crusher, but I think that's probably fine. So now what we need to do is go set up the disenchantment generator and go pipe some books into it. And that's that one made. Alright, and there we go. Now we have this set up to pull from the same channel on my laser IO network as the enchantment extractor is returning the books from the chest, so that we are now destroying the books we're getting and making power out of them. So that's one more bit of progress done, and in the process I made the world's smallest mob farm, but it seems fairly productive. Anyhow, if you found this episode interesting and entertaining, please consider like or subscribe if you're new. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.